Hi there, everybody. I'm glad you could make it today. I have 3 books to read to you. All of them talk about dragons, and I have an awesome activity at the very end, so make sure you stay tuned to see what we'll be able to pack in our grab-and-go bags for you guys to do. We have Dragon Was Terrible by Kelly DiPescio. Hopefully I said that right. You never know with all those vowels in there and last names, but let's get into the book. Dragon was terrible. Naturally, dragons have a bit of terrible in them because, well, they're dragons after all. But this dragon here, he's super terrible. I wonder what makes him so terrible. He stomped on flowers, he played tricks on the guards, and he spit on cupcakes. Seriously, who does that? Dragons, that's who. That's not all. He scribbled in books, he threw sand, and he took candy from baby unicorns. Honestly, that's terrible. The king had had enough. Enough, he said, and he posted this sign. Brave knights, whoever shall tame the terrible dragon shall be rewarded with a gift. It shall be a nice gift. Ye shall like it. His Royal Majesty, the King. Well, that sounds exciting. And of course, knights lined up to show off their dragon taming skills. But they all failed miserably. And Dragon just grew more terrible. He chased fuzzy yellow cute ducklings around the moat. He TP'd the castle. And he burned every last royal marshmallow to a blackened crisp. The villagers had had enough. Enough, they said, and they posted this sign. Brave people, whoever shall tame the terrible dragon shall be rewarded with a gift from the king. It shall be a nice gift, we hope, and he shall like it, perhaps. His Royal Majesty, the King. So what do you think happened next? That's right. They lined up and they tried their hand at taming the dragon. They all failed, embarrassingly so, and just when you thought it wasn't possible, that's right, the dragon grew even more terrible. Now he's popping birthday balloons, he drew funny faces on the drawbridges, and he bumped people in church. He also burped loudly, and honestly, that's terrible and rude. A boy wearing a feathered cap and a look of determination had had enough. Do you see him? He means business. Only he didn't say enough like you thought he would. Instead, he sketched a story. The next day, Dragon followed a trail of marshmallows to a shady tree where the boy was reading. The boy spied the dragon out of the corner of his eye, and he began to read aloud in a booming voice. And then the brave dragon swooped in to save the princess, he said. And Dragon stopped dead in his tracks. But the terrible knight pulled out his wicked sword. Dragon pretended not to listen. The brave dragon roared, and the friendly, fraidy cat knight trembled in his boots. Dragon pretended to walk away, but he was still listening. A crowd began to gather, and Dragon took cover in a tree. The boy continued reading page after page after page until snap, crash, and the dragon landed on the ground with a thud. The crowd gasped. The dragon roared. And the clever boy didn't flinch. He reached out his hand to the dragon and he said, "Would you like to hear how the story ends?" And just when you thought it wasn't possible, the dragon smiled and he took a seat beneath the tree with the other children. Honestly, isn't that adorable? The king cheered and the villagers cheered, and the baby unicorn and the fuzzy ducklings cheered the loudest of all. At long last, the terrible dragon had been tamed. The end. Did we forget about that reward? That's right. Hey, wait. What about that reward? Oh, yes, that, the gift. The gift was a new friend, and it was a nice dragon, of course. And that truly was the end. I'm wondering if there were other ways that we could have tamed this dragon. I think he really did truly want a friend. But this next book may have been another way they could have tamed dragons, because dragons love tacos. Did you know that dragons love tacos? I did not. I also love tacos. So I wonder if we have that in common. Let's read and find out. Hey kid, did you know that dragons love tacos? They love beef tacos and chicken tacos. They love really big, gigantic tacos and tiny little itty baby tacos as well. It's safe to say they love all tacos. Why do dragons love tacos? Maybe it's the smell from the sizzling pan. Maybe it's the crunch of the crispy tortilla. Maybe it's a secret. Either way, if you want to make friends with dragons, tacos are key. Hey, dragon, why do dragons love tacos so much? No answer. But wait, as much as dragons love tacos, they hate spicy salsa even more. They hate spicy green salsa and spicy red salsa. They hate spicy chunky salsa and even spicy smooth salsa. If the salsa is spicy at all, dragons can't stand it. Wonder why. Why do dragons hate spicy salsa? Well, just one drop of hot sauce makes a dragon's ears smoke. Oh my, that'd be terrible. Just one single speck of hot pepper makes a dragon snort sparks. Spicy salsa gives dragons the tummy troubles too. And when dragons get the tummy troubles, oh boy. So, if you want to make tacos for dragons, let's keep the toppings mild, like tomatoes, lettuce, and my favorite, cheese. These are all good toppings for tacos for dragons. What kind of taco toppings do you guys like? Avocados, black olives. We could keep going for days. You could put anything on a taco. Hey, dragon, how do you feel about spicy taco toppings? He falls on the floor and he plays dead. He's like, no, thank you. Dragons love parties. They like costume parties and pool parties. They like big, gigantic parties with accordions and tiny little parties with charades. Why do dragons love parties? I like parties too. Maybe it's the conversation. Maybe it's the dancing. Maybe it's the comforting sound of a good friend's laughter. Why do you guys like parties? That's a good idea. That's a good reason to like parties. The only thing dragons love more than parties or tacos is, you guessed it, taco parties. Taco parties are parties with lots and lots of tacos. If you want to have some dragons over for a taco party, you'll need buckets of tacos, pantloads of tacos. Really, the best way to judge is just to get a boat, a big boat, and fill that boat with tacos. That's about how much tacos dragons need for a taco party. After all, dragons love tacos. Hey, dragon, are you excited for the big taco party tomorrow? Mm-hmm. Just remember, dragons hate spicy salsa. Before you host your taco party with dragons, get rid of all the spicy salsa. In fact, bury the spicy salsa in the backyard so the dragons can't find it. We do not want the dragons to eat spicy anything. These dragons love your taco party. They love the music, they love the decorations, they especially love the tacos. Congratulations, you have a successful taco party. It's a good thing that you got rid of all that spicy. Wait a second. What are those little green things in the salsa? You didn't read the fine print. Totally mild salsa, now with spicy jalapeno peppers. Oh no. Dragons, listen to me. Do not eat those tacos. Those little green specks in the salsa, those are jalapeno peppers. They are super spicy. I know you love tacos, dragons, but you're really not going to love these tacos. Do not let those dragons eat those tacos. Crunch, crunch, munch, crunch. It's too late. They're already eating the tacos. And they spit fire everywhere, burning his house down and leaving nothing behind. Why would dragons help you rebuild your house? Maybe they're good Samaritans. Maybe they feel bad for wrecking it. Maybe they're just in the mood for some taco breaks. After all, dragons do love tacos. So maybe the knights in the last book could make some tacos and have a taco party, and that would make that dragon feel like he has a friend, right? So those are two kind of funnier books that I had, and I have another one here that is a little bit more serious and kind of gets into the theme of imagine your story. Different perspectives from different people, how you can look at one thing and two people view it differently. It really gives me the insight to how not everyone thinks or views things the same way. So this book is called Dragon Scales and Willow Leaves, and it's by Terrell Givens. Jonathan, right here, and Rachel were twins, but they didn't look the same, and they didn't see the same things the same way either. One day, Jonathan went into the woods to hunt for buried treasure, and Rachel went to look for robins' nests. No sooner had they entered the forest than shadows fell around them. Ahead, in a clearing, they saw a flicker of red and heard a stirring and a rustling. What could it be? Dragon! Cried Jonathan, and out flew his sword. It flashed through the air, striking and stabbing until the air was full of fluttering dragon scales. Rachel didn't see any dragons. She was watching the leaves of the weeping willow float softly down, making a colored carpet that shimmered and rustled in the breeze. How beautiful. Jonathan charged on ahead while Rachel stopped to pick a forget-me-not. A forget-me-not is a flower. They're very beautiful. The path beyond was quiet until the still was broken by shrieks and howls from the treetops high above. Ambush! Yelled Jonathan. We're being attacked by forest trolls. From every branch of every tree they threw rocks and spears and waved their clubs, But Jonathan's shield was like a wall, and his sword like an angry bee, and they escaped unharmed. "We're safe now, Rachel," he whispered. Rachel was smiling at some squirrels and some quarreling blue jays who shook the leaves and the pine needles from the and an occasional acorn from the trees. See, we have our birds up here. We have our squirrels. Squirrels do make a lot of noise. Coming out of the dark forest, they took a shortcut across a rushing stream. But when they heard sloshing and slapping, they turned to face a... What do you think they saw? "That's right, a pirate ship!" shouted Jonathan. At once the ground shuddered with the roar of cannons, and the bursting bombs showered them with spray. Rachel didn't see any pirates. She had discovered some boisterous bullfrogs splashing their noisy way from rock to rock. By now, Jonathan knew they had better make a run for home. But when they reached the hilltop, hundreds and thousands of tall figures with golden hair and suits of green blocked their way. "Vikings!" he gasped. "Send me the mightiest of your warriors," he shouted. "I am not afraid." The Vikings were so stunned that they froze in terror, while he and Rachel passed safely through. Rachel wondered how the Vikings managed to hide so well among the countless rows of corn, with their ripe ears and golden tassels bending and nodding in the breeze. With his castle now in view, Jonathan ran to meet the three knights who bowed and ushered him into the presence of the queen. Rachel didn't notice the knights or the queen. She was too happy to be home again. She ran right up to her mom, and just in time for supper. The end. What an interesting way to view things. Someone who can just take in the beauty of nature and see things, for what they look like. And someone who uses their imagination and really brings life to things that already have so much life in them. Really neat to me. Well, we have plenty more books. So if you're interested in dragon books, we have The Dragon Warrior, which is a really cool comic book. Very neat. Come on in, check it out. We have Dragons Do Eat Homework, which can be a trusty guide. And The Dragon Machine, which is also a really good read. I recommend all of those books. And come on into the library, check out some books, get some more on the theme. As far as the activity goes, I have some flying dragons for us to make. So what I have here is a printout for all of you. So it's a booklet, and it's basically going to teach you how to make any kind of dragon or paper airplane that you want. And we also are going to give you guys paper to do this activity. And it has all different kinds of dragons on there so that we can make these dragons fly. I already have one folded here for you. And it's really cool. As you can see, I have my dragon here, and it even has the body where my dragon is. And it actually works. See that? So there are some challenges in here as well. And once you run out of paper, if you're having a lot of fun, or maybe you have a taco party and all of your guests get to make their own dragons, you can just easily take a piece of paper, measure it 7 3/4 inch by 8.5 inches, and you can design any kind of paper airplane that you want and keep having fun. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed story time today. I really enjoyed having all of you here and reading those books and sharing that with you. Next week, we are going to get into knights and kings and queens and all kinds of royal majesties. So get your crowns ready, and I'll see you next week. Goodbye.